Capricorn, let's start with your reading. Today, we are going to look into the energies around you at the moment, and then we will take a look into the events coming up for you in the next 12 months. Let's start with your main energy. Okay, your first message today, Capricorn, is my outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. And this is very important to understand because often we think that our outer experiences are instead a reflection of past events. And we think that there is nothing that we can actively do in order to break that cycle and finally achieve a happier result, perhaps. This message is suggesting that right now there is something within you which subconsciously might be preventing you from doing something or say something which could take you to the next level. But there is fear here. Therefore, there is no movement. So let's see what this message is about, and let's start with your reading. Yep, it's right here. Immediately we see it. Okay. All right. I mean, Capricorn, we immediately see that there is something right here which you absolutely want to talk about. But at the same time, the fear to go there is so clear. It's so transparent, and maybe transparency is exactly something that you're not looking for right now, not wanting to be transparent about something. As we were saying, there is something in your mind that you might be having a hard time to let out. Even if just subconsciously, you might be finding it hard to be vulnerable with someone right now, to build trust again, and to speak your mind about something, either because you are afraid to be misunderstood or because you don't want to be in a position where someone could see through you, not wanting to be too transparent at the moment, as we were saying. But you do have questions, and these questions might be about the other person's intentions, the other person's feelings, or overall trajectory of a situation, of a project that you're working on. How is this going to evolve? What should I be expecting from this situation in the next few weeks, in the next few months? You want to be prepared for whatever it is that is coming your way. But you are afraid to go there to ask for this because you fear that you're not going to perhaps hear what you want to hear. And you're afraid that the other person is going to understand that you have expectations here. And maybe you do not want to show that right now. On paper, you are ready to take the next step, whether that is officially be with someone or perhaps even reconnect with a person who lately has been showing interest on and off, but who doesn't make a definitive move. There is some sort of confusion here and a need for clarity. Perhaps you are starting to build hope towards a situation that was completely over, and now you are wanting to understand before you build too much hope where this can actually go. We'll see what's going on with the other person when we clarify. But on your end, I definitely perceive that you're deeply connected to both the future, wondering how this is going to evolve, but at the same time, very much connected to something that happened in the past and that you might not even know about. You might not even know that you're connected to it. We'll see what that is. But before we get there, keep in mind that when you are in the middle of past and future and you keep holding on to both, you'll find yourself being stretched real thin. And eventually you'll have to let go of one or the other in order to survive. In the heart of the reading, we have the Four of Wands, the King of Cups and Judgment right here. And here, especially with this Three of Swords as well, we might be starting to see that hidden energy that you might not know about. A disappointment from the past, which somehow it's impacting a lot of your decision making today, therefore impacting everything around you. Now, we do have this King of Cups, and this is your attempt to perhaps cover up some sort of event and disappointment that you have experienced maybe a few weeks ago, months, or even years ago. With the King of Cups, you're trying to really control your emotional state, and that's good unless you're trying to cover up something and pretend that this specific situation is not hurting, because in that case, that's not going to be helpful for you. With the Three of Swords, it's easy to imagine that someone might have cheated, betrayed you somehow, overall hurt you perhaps. But now, just a quick note, since we are talking about the past and not the future yet, I see this person that gave you that Three of Swords now coming up with the Judgment card. And overall, I immediately see someone who's still thinking about you. There is no movement, so I don't see them coming forward, but they're definitely reevaluating their own actions and thinking, that Capricorn was the perfect person for me, and I let them slip out of my hands. Why did I do that? And long story short, they would change everything if they could go back in time. And the overall issue that I see here is that maybe someone at some point felt restricted, limited, wanted to explore and grow alone without the other person. And this obviously made you feel left out. And the reason for which we're looking into this now is that it might have left some sort of insecurities inside of you. And so every time that you get to a point where you're going to be vulnerable or you're going to build expectations and the other person might see it, you immediately go back to this Three of Swords and you think to yourself, oh, hell no. I'm not going to show my real intentions, my real feelings, because this is how it ended in the past and this is how it might end again in the present, in the future. So right here, it's easy to understand why you felt this way. You fall in love so deeply, you think about it over and over again, and then you finally decide to open up and be vulnerable, and then you end up in that situation, disappointed, wounded. How do you build trust again? With the same person or new people, doesn't matter. But it's also important to know that if you apply logic to love, you'll never get out of it. Love really doesn't make sense. I really believe that love is just the language of the universe, or better, the GPS of the universe, which redirects you to specific situations and it's guiding you on your journey. Especially for you, Capricorn, we've seen this in the past few readings. And we don't know why something has happened in the way that it has until we get to the end of the journey, and then we can look back and trace every single twist and turn and even being grateful for them because they brought us where we are today. And that's exactly what we need to focus now, Capricorn. Time to detach from the past and detach from other people's actions, other people's decisions. They can impact you today and tomorrow just if you let them. This is the time to see what's coming up in the future if you manage to let go of the past once for all. And right here coming up, we have, in fact, the Six of Swords and Page of Cups, as well the Seven of Cups right here and the Fool. So we are starting to see something completely different right now. Yes, the Six of Swords does talk about a painful transition, but a transition that it's necessary, a time of unknown. But what we know is that after the Six of Swords, something better is coming your way. And that's what is most important right now. And in order to move forward, there is something that we need to understand overall regarding the situation. What is very important to understand is that we are all learning how to love day after day. None of us have the perfect formula, right? Sometimes we hurt, sometimes we get hurt. But the important thing is to never let the past define our future. And now we are talking about love and relationships, but this really applies to everything and any potential setback or disappointment. Never let them define your journey and your self worth. Look at them as lessons. Learn what you need to learn and don't lose your drive, your motivation, and your end goal, especially. It's easier said than done because when you are in this Three of Swords and you're hurting, it's hard to think that way, but it's fundamental. And understanding this is important more now than ever for you because there's finally movement coming towards you. I don't think from this person from the past, but I could be wrong. We'll have to clarify. What I see here is opportunities and also a honest conversation coming up, together with a chance to love again. And you need to enter these new situations with a strong confidence and clear vision. You let go of the past and finally start to see how freaking amazing you are before expecting that someone else will be able to see it as well. Look what happens when you let go of the past. Your chance to start all over again if you enter it with this full energy. Someone who takes risks again, who loves like they've never been hurt before, and who is ready to take a leap of faith as if they could never fail. And so let's focus on this incoming energy. Let's see what's coming next for you, Capricorn. Let's start clarifying the incoming energies. Let's look into this conversation and then let's see how your life can change in the next 12 months after you decide to be that fool and completely detach from everything that slows you down. Look at this Nine of Cups right here. Wishes coming true, one after the other, as long as you free yourself up from everything that slows you down. So let's see what you should expect in terms of events and opportunities, and then we'll see how your situation is bound to evolve. If you want to dive deeper into the messages, Capricorn, just follow me in the extended reading link below in the description box. Also, don't forget that every single week, I randomly select viewers who have watched the extended video to offer them a 100% free personal 30-minute reading. I send out emails every Monday morning. Make sure to check out your spam folder as well. Now, stay tuned for the extended preview coming right up after this. Welcome back to your extended reading, Capricorn. The bridging energy taking us from this current situation to the upcoming events is the Knight of Cups. And this is a great way, a great energy to enter the new year with. Because what we're seeing here, first of all, is someone who's not afraid to speak their mind anymore. And for a very specific reason. Right here, the main thing that you might have learned is how your final outcomes, your final wishes, that don't have to be attached to one person in particular, don't have to be attached to a specific situation. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen with that person, but carrying around that burden of being afraid to break something or to say the wrong thing, to do the wrong thing at every single step, because that might determine the end of the road to your Nine of Cups. That's such an awful fear to have. And it's very limiting. As you see right here, it puts strings around your wrists. And so it's very important to see what this energy is about, because now you have freed yourself up from something that has been slowing you down for the whole past year. And so right here, we see that romance, love is coming back into your life, and overall passion for someone, passion for your life, for yourself, passion for what you do, and the results are showing, Capricorn, very quickly actually. So let's start clarifying these messages and let's start seeing what is coming your way after you start this new journey with the Fool. Let's immediately clarify the incoming energies and then we will see how they're bound to grow and evolve. Oof, Too many messages for you. Let me put this back and reshuffle. Okay. Oh, right away. You're going to find love immediately at the beginning of the year. And don't think that when we say love, we just mean relationships. This is much bigger than that. And here we see it, in fact. So, first of all,